What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another market breakdown, another market analysis. We're looking at gold today and we're looking at NAS100, but we're going to look at the NAS100 first before we get into gold, right? Now, I believe you're going to find the content I'm about to share with you super useful, so make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification, and drop us a like and drop us a comment just to say hey, or if there is anything you'd like to add. All right, now before we move forward, it's important that I also say this: I am not a financial advisor. I am not giving you financial advice, right? I'm just a regular person analyzing the market, and it is important that obviously you double check the information I'm sharing with you and you make sure it all makes sense, because mistakes do get made and I don't know everything, and I'm not marketing myself as I do, right? I'm just showing you how I normally navigate the market, how it works for me, and hopefully there might be some gems in there for you that you could utilize with your own strategy, okay? And if you have a better way of doing things, right, by all means feel free to share that with me in the comment section. So with all of that covered, right, we're going to get straight into it. We're just going to get straight into it. So in the last video that we did, this was the area that we was looking at, right? And once again, I always keep mentioning the weekly highs and the weekly lows. Sometimes it goes over people's ears in terms of what I'm trying to say and how I'm trying to put it down. But this tool actually is effective, right? I kid you not, it is effective. If used correctly, it is effective. So this is something, once again, that I would like to share with you again. So last week we talked about the weekly high being taken out, and obviously it got taken out and market shot up and gave a little bit of profit, and then it came down, right? Okay, now it's important I say this, so I'm just going to interject into what I'm saying now, right? Which is basically the weekly highs and the weekly lows are systems that actually work in regards of how the market moves, but however it is quite difficult to be able to execute. You are going to need to spend a bit of time in learning how to actually manage that, right? But once you do, you're relatively good, right? So getting back on track again. So last week when I did the recording, we talked about the weekly low was set on that Friday, and obviously the video came out on the weekend, right? So this weekly low was already set in stone for us, right? It was clear as day. We could clearly see it, right? So fast forward to week just gone, which is week commencing the 2nd of Jan, right? Because Monday was a bank holiday, right? What we basically see is that we have a break of that weekly low on that Tuesday. So you got taken out right here. So I'm just going to draw a little bubble on that for you guys so that you guys are able to see that, right? So that was a weekly low that was taken out. And then straight from that point onwards, we didn't get a pullback to the upside, right? So you had one or two options. You could have joined it here, right? You could have joined it at this level, or you could have joined it at any other level that you felt comfortable and just read it down, and you would have collected bank on that. It was as simple as that. Nothing too crazy. Very, very, very straightforward. And not only did it take out this weekly low over here, it took out this one as well. Okay, so you got two confirmation in one day in regards to all of that being taken out. So on the Wednesday, your job would have been straightforward, right? So on the Friday, we had the non-farm payroll, right? NFP. Now, when it came out, literally, it was relatively straightforward in terms of how market moved, right? Now, if you was trading gold, you would have got screwed. But on the NAS, it was relatively straightforward, right? Which was, the news came out, market flew all the way up. So if you were selling the weekly low, right, depending on when you joined it, if you joined it from anywhere up here, you would have been fine. You'd have been fine right now as it stands, right? So with all of that covered, right, based on how everything kind of transpired over last week, we need to get to where we think market is going to go this week, right? So normally most analysis mainly focus on resistance and support levels, as if market does this, then it's going to do that, and if market does that, it's going to do this, right? My recommendation, the thing that is kind of working for me right now, is not to try to figure out where the market is going to go. It's just follow where it's going, right? And one of the indicators that actually helps me do this really effectively is when weekly lows and weekly highs are taken out, right? And I've been going on about this for the longest, but literally that's been working, right? It's been working, and that's what I'm bringing to you. And obviously you can go back and analyze the market yourself, and you can see that the weekly lows and the weekly highs are very, very, very important levels in terms of determining the direction the market is moving in. Sometimes it will give you big profits, sometimes it will give you small profits, and sometimes it may just screw you all together. But if you're able to master this one skill, basically is going to start to work out very, very, very well for you. And you can build up from a small account to a medium-sized account to a large account in a decent period of time, right? That will feel very quick once you get to having a large account. So when it's small, it feels like it's a tedious job. But as you continue on this journey, it's only going to grow. And because I've said everything I've just said now, it's also important that I remind you again, I am not a financial advisor. I am not giving you financial advice. I am not a trained economist or anything like that. I'm just a regular person. So the first thing I'm going to point out again is the weekly high of week just gone. So the first one was set on a Tuesday, and that's it right here, the weekly high. So we're just going to assign a label to that. And on a Friday, we got our weekly low, right? Okay. Now, the gap between the weekly high that was just set and the weekly low is quite large. So you might need to exercise some patience, right? And if you decide to go in earlier, then literally it is it's going to be a bit dicey, right, how you move in that. But it's kind of large. The space between the weekly high and the weekly low is kind of large. When we had it like this, it was relatively straightforward, and last week it was relatively really cool between the weekly high and the weekly low. Okay, it was quite straightforward. The gap wasn't that big, but this week is quite large, right? We had a big drop this week, so we need to be mindful as to what's going to take place and how it's going to take place. Now, if I'm going off assuming what I think market is going to do, this is what I will kind of lay out. I will lay it out in this kind of path. It may go this way, it may not go this way, right? Only time will tell, and we'll just see how that kind of moves as we move forward. So what I would be expecting for market to do, right, is maybe something like this, right? Maybe something like this, right? Where it may come back down to this level and then do something like that, and then possibly either break down or push up, right? Depending on how it goes, right? But these are the things that I'll be looking for. But bottom line, I'll be looking for a weekly low to be taken out or a weekly high to be taken out, and that will help me assess how I need to move. Now, we could be in limbo for the whole of next week, right? Okay, but bottom line is at the end of next week, we will have a new weekly low and a new weekly high, and that may help us in the third week of Jan to actually navigate everything properly, right? This is just my opinion, and once again, I highly recommend everyone double checks what it is that I am saying and make sure it all makes sense to you before obviously you commit your hard-earned capital towards any trades. So let me just add some levels in there for you guys, right? So the weekly high that we are thinking about, right? The weekly high that we're looking at right now that's on the radar is 16884.1. Okay, so that is the weekly high right here. All right, and the weekly low that we also need to bear in consideration would be 16178.7. all right, okay, so as it stands, we have a major level right here, okay, which is 15266.5. okay, market may pull all the way down to that level, or market might give us a head and shoulders to indicate it wants to come down even lower, right? So all we have to do is just be patient and wait to see what is produced next week, and that will help us navigate what we need to do and how we need to do it. But as it stands, keep an eye on the weekly highs and keep an eye on the weekly lows, and this is where they are right here. This is where they are right here. Okay, so with that covered, we're going to jump into gold. Right. Okay, so here we are. So right now we're in gold right now. Okay, we're looking at gold on a day, and this is the trend, the path of gold that we have right now. And as we can see, the buy side resistance level is being rejected. So we kind of need to find out if it's going to break through or if it's actually going to start pushing downwards, right? So let's go into an hour, and hopefully that should help us really determine how we need to navigate gold moving forward. Okay. So let me get the separators in. Okay, so let me just make this a little bit bigger, and we're going to move this stuff out of the way, and then we're just going to draw out some basic levels that we're going to use maybe later on. All right, so we've got the weekly low of gold set in December right here, so we're just going to add a label to that. So that was set in 2023. This is the weekly low of 2023, and then we're going to have the weekly high of 2023 right here. And then we now need to look at the weekly low of week just gone, which is this right here. Okay, weekly high, sorry. And then we're gonna add the weekly low right here. Okay, weekly low. So looking at this, what kind of information is gold sharing with us right now? Okay, so first things first, the weekly low of December was taken out this week right here. Okay, now I've been trading gold this week, right? I mean, week just gone, and I did very well with gold. I kind of got screwed over a little bit with the non-farm payroll, right? Literally, I got stung, so I was selling the market. So I was selling, and it went all the way down. I was feeling really good, right? And I literally thought, yeah, it's just gonna work out. And what I should have done, but I didn't do it, was I should have bought in a trading stop and just secured something. And then what happened was it shot all the way up and took me out, right? So my stop was right here somewhere, right? My stop was right here, and I literally got shaken out, and then I left it as that. So on the Tuesday, right? On the Tuesday, I traded gold, but I didn't make that much of it. It was just a little bit, right? Okay, and then on the Wednesday, I was trading gold as well, and I also did well, so I got it all the way down here, which was great. Literally, so I entered gold around this level over here somewhere, right? And I rolled it all the way down, and I secured the bag. Boom, fantastic. Then I entered in again around, I think it was around here, right? And I just held it. And I thought it was going to go my way. So when it pushed down even lower on doing the non-farm payroll, I literally thought that it was fantastic. It was all going to work out, all going to go my way. And it literally didn't. And it came back and shook me out. And such is life. That's the game that we play. So I just have to accept it. It is what it is, right? So moving forward on my moves on gold, once again, right? These are the levels that I'm most keen on when it comes to gold, right? These are the levels that I'm most keen on when it comes to gold, and that is the weekly high, which is 2079.23, and the weekly low, which is 2024.62. So these are the levels that I am looking out for, okay? And if any of these levels are breached, I would then know how I need to kind of position myself in the market in regards to gold, right? So with that done, we're just going to zoom out into a larger time frame just to give us an idea as to exactly what is happening and how it's happening. So once again, like I mentioned, okay, that gold looks like it's gone into a range if you look at it on the daily time frame, right? And price is rejecting. So let me get rid of all of these drawings that I've done. So if you look at it right now, we can see the price is rejecting, and the level that we have up here, it is a resistance level that price is pulling away from, right? But as it stands, it hasn't given no major indication to say that it's really going to pull away from that level, because we need a level like this one over here to be taken out. So we have a level up here, okay? So I'm just going to go back to the one that I was looking at before. Okay, so we have a level up here, which is a support level. No, sorry, a resistance level, right? And we have a support level down here, okay? And this whole situation over here looks like gold has gone into a range. I firmly believe gold has gone into a range, all right? So what I basically want to bring to your attention is this level right here, right? This level right here, which is what is going to let us know if gold is literally going to be breaking away and starts to pull back down again and possibly make his way down to this resistance level right here. Okay, so we have a resistance level right here. This is it right here. I'm sorry, a support level right here. Do you know what? I'm getting confused with saying these words. I'm just going to say price action level, right? It's just simpler for me to say it because it's just like support, resistance, support. Like what the hell? Okay, so this price action zone right here, okay, is where I think gold may push down to, but however, it needs to take out this zone. It needs to take out this zone. So because most of us are trading, we're day traders, right, in this space, right, it's simpler if we use weekly highs and weekly lows to navigate the market, supposing to waiting for a big move for it to come from where it is to end up down here, because these are days of trading that we could literally miss just because we're waiting for a significant move. That it will come, but however, it may take a while. It may take a while. So if you go back to this chart, right, if you go back to this chart over here and we go to the hour, right, it is quite clear that the most sensible approach to help us navigate, to make sure that we're doing the utmost that we can to win most of the trades that we enter into, is to follow the weekly lows and the weekly highs. That is just my opinion, right? So far, this strategy has been working very, very, very well for me. That's why I'm bringing it to your attention. So as it stands, with everything that I've just said so far, right, just to recap or just to round everything off, right, we're looking for a weekly low or weekly high to be taken out in regards to gold, right? So, and those are the levels right here. Weekly high is 2079.23, weekly low is 2024.62. If either one of these levels are taken out, then we need to prepare ourselves to make sure we're facing the right direction when we enter our trades. And once again, it is upon you to do your own research to make sure that everything you're hearing in this video makes absolute sense to you before you decide to commit your hard-earned capital. Because once again, I am not a financial advisor. I am not here to give you financial advice. I'm just sharing my thought in regards to how market moves and how I navigate the market. And how I navigate the market, the system that I'm sharing with you seems to be working well for me. So I figured I'll share it with you, right? So with all of that covered, my awesome people from all around the world, once again, I want to thank you for coming over to watch another episode of a market breakdown, market analysis in regards to NAS and gold, right? And I wish you all the best in your trades for this upcoming week. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video, which will be with you either on a Saturday or on a Sunday of next week. So till then, this is Pips and Points signing out.